for you and everything. And let's get it. Hey, nice to meet y'all. A lot of y'all have maybe seen me before, right? Y'all may be familiar with my face. Y'all will be familiar with my face. I'm gonna say that, right? My name is Brandon Robinson. I'm a current Platinum 1000. And one thing I do want to say, first and foremost, the person who got me on this call is, I'm gonna be honest, like he's a legend. So like y'all are in the presence of greatness. So I have a couple of housekeeping rules while I'm doing this call. The first thing is, can I see y'all beautiful faces? Like, like it's a great day today, like, first of all, it's 2021. A lot of us, we still have breath in our body. Everybody on this call still has breath in their body. I'm gonna be honest, change your life with trading, right? Let me kind of tell you my background with trading. I've been, these are my trading glasses. I'm not gonna lie. I get in my zone when I had these glasses on, but let me talk to y'all real quick. I've been, I'm gonna be honest, I've been trading for about 2 years, right? Been a part of IM Academy for 2 years. But the biggest thing is I've really been trading for about, honestly, a little over a year now, like really actually taking the skill set serious. And the thing that's really changed my life was three things. And I take y'all actually get this before I get into the actual trading side. The first thing is speak it. Second thing is say it. Third thing is write it, right? Speak it, say it, write it. That has helped me create multiple six-figure earners in trading, right? It has helped me, if y'all don't know, this is actually like the last call I'm doing. It's not for my team person before I have serious surgery on August 20th, right? So we're all in alignment right now. And the crazy part is I've been talking to a lot of educators. The next 6 months, y'all will be seeing me on Go Live, right? So that is a blessing. So what I do is I specialize in normal Forex. I've been like everybody else. I've been doing this and that. I've been doing a lot of stuff. And I was having some okay success, but my thing was, what was stopping me? What was stopping me from having the success I wanted? So I really want to talk about the 5 stages of mastery. This will take 5 minutes before I get into the trading sauce. Right, type of 777 in the chat if I can talk about the 5 stages of mastery real quick. If we can all be in alignment, because I'm gonna be honest, I know like y'all are taking notes. I see Joseph over there. I got my notebook too, so I'm really about to give y'all everything that y'all really needed. I promise you. So keep dropping some 7s in the chat. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the 5 stages of mastery real quick. This will not take more than 5 to 6 minutes, right? And I promise you, this is actually gonna put a lot of things of where you are on your trading journey right now. So the first thing we want to talk about is what I call the birth of understanding. The birth of understanding. What that is, a lot of us, we heard a lot of good and bad about Forex. You done told your families and friends, I'm about to retire you, mom. Like, look, you told your wife, you told everybody, I'm about to make 7 figures in the next 90 days. Do you see this compound plan? We all had that. Some of us are still in that right now. That is what we call folly. Write down the word FOLI. Folly means uncontrolled, right? Behavior. Uncontrolled behavior. And then you have confusion every now and then. I just want to give you some keys to success with that. The first one is never rush your process. Don't rush your process. Give yourself time to learn. And the most important key is starve your distractions. Starve your distractions. Just being very, very honest. I say this all the time. Where the enemy can't destroy, he'll distract. Where the enemy can't destroy, he'll distract. Okay? And I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. I said I can be real with you on the call. A distraction can be your spouse. It can even be your kids sometimes. Your phone can be a distraction. So I want you to ask yourself this question. Whenever you're focused, aren't you like the most focused thing out there? And you're very, very lethal and dangerous. Because I know when I'm focused, nothing can stop me. But here's the biggest key. How often are you really focused? I mean, with no cell phone, no distractions. It's very rare. So we need to focus, okay? Step 2, it's called the opening of the mind. This is where confusion starts. I know I've been through this a lot of times with trading, and you start going soul searching. The first question you ask after a big loss is trading for me, right? Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Right? Everything. And one key to success I just really want to give y'all real quick. 1, utilize your demo account. And 2, do not rush the process. Okay? Your process, and we can say somebody else's process, will be totally different. Do not rush the process. Next, I have the crossroads. This is where like a lot of people quit trading. This is where revenge trading comes in. You never see it, right? You never feel it until you don't have no more money in your trading account. A lot of us have blown account. A lot of us have went through that. A lot of us trade when we need money, right? And then you try to make money happen. And whenever you lose money, do you know what happens? I'm gonna go back and get it. Cause you know, if I know I lost it, I can go back and get it. Like you maybe lost 5% for the day, then you try to do a trade, it's 10%, then you're down 15% for the whole day. And then you don't want to talk to your spouse, you don't want to talk to your family and friends, okay? And I just want you to understand, we don't really focus on breathing whenever we trade. Don't rush the process. We have a lot of potential business owners out there or already business owners out there. I want y'all to understand, treat trading like it's a business. You won't just start a random business. So don't just enter a random trade just because, oh, it looks good. You need what I call confluence. You need different steps to doing that. And the only thing I'm going to say is remember. Look at the word remember. Remember means break down and put together and remember why you actually started. When you have your reasons why next to you, literally, nothing can stop you. You like nothing can stop you. And I'm gonna just go to this last part, or I'm gonna skip step 4. Right, step 4 is you make money, you enjoy it. That's simple. Step 5 is mastery. This is the part where a lot of us fail. A lot of us say these 4 words. I already know that. I already know that. I'm gonna be honest. You have to keep learning. Your mentor is still learning right now. Learning is an ongoing process. It's like success. It never stops. It never stops. So type a 2 in the chat if that helps you, right? So I can go ahead and get into the trading stuff, right? I can go ahead and get into the part that really changed my life with trading, right? I'm gonna go over the harmonic scanner a little bit closer towards the end, but I want to talk about a couple of fundamentals with trading that really changed my life. And so I'm really about to put y'all up on game real quick. When somebody said, Brandon, how'd you make your first 7 figures with trading? It's my notebook right here. It's my folder. It's like we're in class. So I'm gonna be honest. Type a yes in the chat if you know what paper trading is. Type a yes in the chat if you know what paper trading is. I know some people on my team, my family member, y'all know what this is, right? If you don't know what paper trading is, let me go to one of my folders, right? Where I print out a chart and I literally write on here my reasons to get into the chart, to get into the trade. Do you know why we want to write it down? We have gotten lazy in a computer age. Do you know what's one of the highest forms of memory? Pain. Pain. You remember your first heartbreak? You remember when you're dead? A lot of us, we still have trauma that we haven't healed from. It's so much pain. Whenever you write, what it does, it kind of unlocks the subconscious mind. So when you print out, I guess you can say, when you print out the chart and you write on the, okay, I see inverted head and shoulders. I see this and that. You're going to start seeing the charts in your sleep. That's probably the one thing that you have been missing. That is the missing link. I promise you. Because do you know why? How I know that? It changed my game with trading. It took me from an average trader to a market maker. Right? What's a market maker? Market makers know direction. Average traders, I'm guessing prices. I know where price is going. When I tell you, it's very rare in the last 3 to 4 months that I can tell you where price is going. And I know when to get in and everything. I'm going to be honest. I'm very, very good at this. Very, very good. So I'm going to give you some examples of paper trading real quick. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to go to my Telegram chat. And I'm going to show you some examples of paper trading real quick that I actually have. Give me a second. We got the screen real quick. I just want y'all to see some examples of paper trading right here. This is what I did last night, right? Don't worry about all that stuff. This is what I did. I want y'all to pay attention to 1 or 2 things. Don't worry about what I write because I don't write in English. Like it's ugly. But I want y'all to pay attention to this one thing right here. My affirmation right there. My affirmation right there. Every time I paper trade, I have not missed a day in the last 3 months. I don't care if I'm in Orlando, the I Believe experience. I don't care what company event I'm at. I will go find a printer. You know how like when you was in college, how you had to make a way and find a way? It's the same exact thing with paper trading. Okay. So before I go on, right, type some questions in the chat that y'all possibly may have about paper trading. Right. If you don't have a printer, right, you know, we got that credit card, y'all know, right? Or go to Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, your neighbor, right? But it's paper trade. And I'm gonna go in depth. I'm gonna show you some different things with trading, okay? So type a yes if I can go ahead and move on real quick, family. Type a yes in the chat. Oh, y'all, what time frame? I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I paper trade, I'm gonna just say this. This really changed my life. Price does not know time and time does not know price. Price does not know time, time does not know price. A supply zone is a supply zone any time frame. A demand zone is a demand zone at any time frame. You can still find an inverted head and shoulder. You can still find a strong moving pullback. Price is not no time, and time is not no price. Okay. And I see we have some questions in the chat. Let me see. Yeah, I paper trade with one or two pairs, honestly, right? I paper trade if I'm like trying to focus on a different pair that I know I maybe have never traded. Like I want to focus on US 30 possibly or something else. GR 30 is my baby, right? I literally just go to the chart and I look at it, right? I'm actually gonna go over some things I look for in the paper. I bet. Here we go. So I'm about to go ahead and get in my bag real quick, man. Much love to y'all being on this call. I'm gonna start real quick on trade and view. So y'all can be very, very honest. Do y'all see something weird with my chart? Like the colors of the candles and the background and everything? Like you can be honest if this is different because this was different for me when I first got introduced to this. This was very, very different for me when I first got introduced. And I'm gonna tell you why my candles are a certain color. And I'm gonna go over a couple of trades. Are we good? Right. So I'm gonna go over a couple of trades that I'm gonna go over a couple of trades that I've taken this week, and I'm gonna show you why they won and everything. But let me tell you why my candles are black. Why are my candles black? Right, my candles are black because of one reason. I don't care about red, blue. I just care about direction. It's been so many times I've entered into a trade, I've exited out of a trade. I was scared to get into a trade, right? Because I saw a different color candle. Let me know if that has been you before, right? This is what I call shadow walking. This has really changed my life. Having the candles all one color. I don't care about blue and red. I'm gonna actually go over what's a buy candle, what's a sell candle. It's very easy once you actually know your candlestick anatomy, right? I'm about to go very, very in depth, and this is gonna help everybody. So let me go ahead and get into my bag real quick with y'all, family. So for an example, how do I know what is a buy candle and what is a sell candle? You know what is a buy candle and what is a sell candle based off of the previous candle. So for example, so I have this candle right here. We're gonna do red. This candle started where the other candle stopped at. So I want y'all to see this candle started at the bottom and closed at the top. That means price was in the upward direction. That means we had a buy candle, right? That's an ugly arrow, but y'all get it. I mean, we had a buy candle. We had a bullish candle because price started at the bottom and closed at the top, okay? And I'm gonna give y'all some more examples. Let me go ahead and clear this, right? What is a sell candle? A sell candle is the exact same opposite. That's the beautiful part about trading. Once you know this, I'm gonna be honest, how you view trading will change. So right here, this is what we call a sell candle. Why is this a sell candle? Because price starts at the top and then it closes where? At the bottom. The direction of the candle was a straight downward motion, okay? That is what we call a bearish candle. When it starts and it opens at the top and it closes at the bottom, that's what we call a bearish candle. A bullish candle is a reverse when price opens at the bottom and closes at the top, right? Type of 111 in the chat if that doesn't make sense. And if I can move on. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you. Y'all are quick with the fingers. I love it. I love y'all energy. I'm gonna be honest. I really do. And so after I did that, right now it's time for me to get into some basic market structure. This will be very, very simple, very, very quick, but it will honestly change a lot of our perception on trading. Okay. Right. Trading is not, there's no right or wrong thing with trading. All it is perception. Right. I got it from one of my mentors. So let me ask y'all a question. What do y'all think is stronger, a trend line or support and resistance? Type the answer in the chat. What do you think is stronger, a trend line or support and resistance? Type the answer in the chat for me. All right, we got one answer. We got support and resistance, support, trend line, trend, support. We got about 50-50 here. Y'all coming in quick. I'm gonna tell you my prerogative. I'm gonna tell you why. How many times have you seen support and resistance be broken and go the opposite way? I want you to understand support and resistance is nothing more than a horizontal trend line, right? It's nothing more than a horizontal trend line. So trend lines, I'm gonna be with you. We have been using trend lines wrong the whole time. Trend lines don't show you change a trend. They show you change direction. I hope y'all caught that. They don't show you change a trend. they show you change of direction. So I'm gonna show you how you know. I'm gonna show you how you know what's the change of actual trend real quick. Let's get into some elementary market structure. Right, we have price making higher highs and higher lows, okay? Once price in a breaks, right, breaks the previous low, then price is in what we call the downtrend, okay? But what a trend line does, a trend line will show you change in direction. Hold up, let me do this. A trend line will show you change in direction. I want you to understand change in direction does not mean that price, right, is actually changing trend. It's just letting you know price is going from an up direction to a down direction. Does that make sense? Yes, the right answer is trend line, boss lady. Right answer is trend line. Trend lines are more powerful. Trend lines are 90% more powerful if you go back and you really mark it up. Trend lines are powerful, and also support and resistance is nothing but a trend line, okay? So let's go back. I'm actually about to mark up some trend lines on the chart so we can see the same things together. Okay, so for an example, real quick, we had price, we had a trend line right here. Price broke the trend and price changed direction. At this point, price changed direction and price started going up. Price didn't actually break. Price didn't actually break, right? The downtrend until it broke this high. Until price broke this high, until price broke this high, price changed from a downtrend to an uptrend. Does that make sense? Because everything under this is a downtrend. Let me know if that makes sense, family. Okay, cool. Good. I'm proud of y'all. So now I'm about to introduce, okay, we got one, that's really all I needed. Thank you. I do appreciate you. So real quick, I'm about to go ahead and mark this up real quick. Thank you. Thank you for being very honest, okay? I'm about to go ahead and break this down. This should break it down. So what happens is in trading, we have these things called highs and lows. We have these things called highs and lows. So once price makes a high and price makes a low, the next move that price makes is either going to be a higher high or a lower high. So this is what we call a higher high because this high right here is higher than this high. This right here is what we call a lower high, right? We know about lower highs. If you've been through the 100, 200, or the 100 series, it's in the academy. So right here, we have another higher high. We have another higher high. So as we see, let's look. What did price do right here? Price made a lower low. Once we have price making a lower low, right? Once you have price making a lower low, and it actually broke this lower high, went lower than this lower high, price is getting ready for a downtrend, right? Price is getting ready for a downtrend. Does that make sense, Ty? Let me know if that makes sense, Ty. Let me know if that does clarify it. Yes, okay, good. So now we're about to get into supply and demand. Y'all can be honest. A lot of us know what supply and demand is, but do you know how to find it? I'm gonna be real. I heard educators say it. I didn't really know, and I never understood the harmonic scale. Man, I never really knew what that was, right? You can be honest. Type in the chat, have you heard of supply and demand? Do you know what supply and demand is? Do you know how to find it? Most people, it's probably going to be a no, right? It's probably going to be a no, right? Thank you. It's like we've heard of it, but we don't really know how to find it. I'm going to really show you some trades where I took a GBP JPY trade, risked 13 pips, made 183 pips. So I'm about to make this make sense. Please make sure y'all are taking notes, okay? Right? So let me go ahead and break down supply and demand for you. First thing I want y'all to write down is supply equals sell zone. Supply equals sell zone, demand equals buy zone. Supply equals sell zone and demand equals buy zone. I'm gonna let y'all write that down. Supply equals sell zone and demand equals buy zone. Supply equals sell zone and demand equals buy zone. So let's get into it. Y'all tell me what's like the most recent thing that y'all have purchased, right? Is it shoes? If it's hair, gas, like if it's something, tell me so I can use an actual example. And when I break down this example, it's going to change a lot of stuff with trading. Let's see, who's first? Gas. Okay, Taco. We're gonna use gas. We're gonna use a house. You know what? I'm gonna use a house. Let's use a house. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna use a house. You know, I'm about to buy me one soon. So let's say for an example right here, price right here, we bought a house at $100,000. We bought a house at $100,000. Right? That makes a lot of sense. We bought a house at $100,000. Boom. Right? The value of the house went down because of COVID. Right? The markets crashed, all this other stuff. Boom. So down here, let's say about 2 months ago, the value of your house went down to about $20,000. The value of your house depreciated to about $20,000. You let me know right now, would you sell your house for $20,000 when you bought it for $100,000? Type in the chat. If you bought your house for $100,000, would you sell it for $20,000? A fat no, right? Heck no. Let's go deeper. So I want y'all to understand. Do you know when you're actually gonna sell your house? When price comes back up to the same price. So as you can see, these prices were very equal. This price may have actually been a little bit higher, 105,000. We'd say 100,000. So the best place to enter the market for a sale is going to be at the same exact price that you bought it at right here. It's going to be at the same exact price that you bought it right there. Does that make sense first? You want to sell high and buy low. Let me know if that makes sense before I go any further. Okay. All right, let me know if that makes sense. Okay, good. If you have any questions, please type in the chat. Please type in the chat if you have any question. Okay, bet. That's good. So let's look at take trading out of blue and red candles. We're going to think like banks. We are banks, right? You know, one of my affirmations, I am the bank for my family, because that means God has to supply the amount of money that I can actually be the bank for my family. So we're going to think like market makers. We're going to think like banks. All 100 of you on this call, y'all are going to be blessed. So let's go deeper. So I'm going to zoom in, okay? I'm going to zoom in. As we can see, I'm gonna circle this candle too. I'm gonna circle this candle in the red box. In the red box, okay? Give me a second to make this red. Okay, good. Y'all see this red candle? This red candle. That red candle, I don't care what kind of candle it is, but all I see is that red candle was the first sell candle before the downward movement. Do y'all see that red candle was the first sell candle before the downward movement? Let me see if y'all understand that red candle right there is the first sell candle. I'm training your eyes. It's going to be a little bit hard, but I promise you it's going to change your trading career. I promise you it's changed mine. That's the first sell candle. So I want y'all to understand, we want to get in when banks get in. So what did banks do? Banks push price up back to here. You know what? We're going to have fun with this. I'm glad we're on here together. We're going to have fun with this. All right, bet. So what happened is banks push price down. Boom. Y'all remember what I said? Price is too low. I'm not going to sell at that low price. But what I want price to do, price is coming back up. This sell candle is my supply zone. This sell candle is my supply zone. And I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to show you how to actually draw it. This sell candle is my supply zone, okay? Oh, that is really small. This sell candle is my supply zone. So what I'm waiting for is for price to get back to this exact area, because that is where banks initiated their sales. This candle is where banks got in for the sell. Does that make sense before I move on? This highlighted red candle is when banks got in to get in for the sell. Let me know if that makes sense before I move on. I'm going to show you how to use this with the harmonic scanner and how you can be very, very undefeated. Good. So I'm waiting for price to get back up to this zone. I'm waiting for my market value of my house to get back to $100,000. What happens is price is doing what it's doing. Like, don't forget, we get paid to wait. So let's look out. You see price is getting close to my zone. You see how price came in my zone? What I would do, because I understand price, and I see this is a pin bar and I'm going to go over this, I would enter into a market execution for a sell, which I actually did. I actually entered into this trade for a market execution for a sell. This is how you get good risk to rewards, right? And price went down, right? No price, and I had my stop loss. I'm on a 4-hour time frame. I know exactly where to put this, right? Matter of fact, I even calculate. It's supposed to be 35. Stop loss is 5 pips above my supply zone. You see how we got into the market and price went straight down and price gave us 196 pips on the dot with 30 pip risk because I understood when banks got in to sell. Does that, and I'm gonna kind of go a little bit more in depth into supply and demand. I just want you to actually see this visual, right? Is this kind of starting to click and make sense? Let me know. Let me know if this is starting to click and make sense. I'm about to make trading 10 times easier. I'm gonna be honest. I graduated all this high class, high school, college, cool. Support and resistance never made sense to me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's just me. Support and resistance never made sense to me. Never did. Because do you know what my first question was? If price crossed the support and resistance, is it still valid? That was my first question, right? But I'm gonna show you how I trade and how I make trading simplified. Okay. I'm gonna give you another example. I'm gonna show you a trade that our family actually took AUDJPY. This is a trade our family actually took. What day was this? Okay, so Alonzo, I'm gonna answer your question. That was just the example to try to make it make sense, if that makes sense, right? So to simplify supply and demand, I want to try to get in when the banks get in to sell. A lot of times we're taught with retail trading that we get in late. I know that I want to get in of the first. I want you to understand, please write this down. Banks will buy to sell and sell to buy. So banks will actually push price down, bring it back up. I'm gonna go over this in a minute just to do a huge move down. I'm actually go over the steps to it in a minute. Okay. How do you know when to see this last sell candle? Okay, for an example right here, right? I see right here, this is the first sell candle. This is why trend lines are important. You see how price broke the trend? This is the first sell candle before price started going down. This right here, and I'm gonna actually put a box in. This candle right here is my first sell candle before price started going down. So let me tell you what I did. I'm gonna go over this, and right now it may not make sense yet, but let me get through this whole call, right? I'm not sure if I have a time limit. I don't know how long y'all want me to go, but I'm gonna give you everything I know. I told my dude I'm gonna get in my bag and really leave it all on the field today for y'all, right? So for an example, this is our sell zone. Price came to my supply zone, boom. We got in literally right here on this wick, and price gave us 70 pips, right? With a 13 pip stop loss. Right, I just want to show you this. So now, right, I need y'all to take very, very copious notes. I'm gonna show you how to draw supply and demand. Matter of fact, do y'all want to see a demand zone? Do y'all want to see a demand zone real quick? I showed you a supply zone. Let me show you a demand zone. Right, so y'all can see it on the opposite side. Thank you. Let me find one. Right, then I'm gonna give y'all everything y'all need. I promise you. Just stay with me. Just stay with me, family. All right, give y'all a demand zone. For an example, we're trying to find like a perfect one, like not a hard one, but a perfect one to actually go with our rules. All right, bet. My fault. Hold up. We're gonna go back to right here. And you can do something. Matter of fact, you can do something any time frame. I'll show you on the 15-minute time frame. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Let's find the demand zone. Price is not no time, and time is not no price. Boom, boom. All right, got one right here. All right, so demand zone. It's the same exact thing, right? I'm gonna zoom in. This is my demand zone. I don't like blue. I'm gonna do black, right? I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see this, right? So let's do another example. Let's say right now. Okay, demand zone. I'm gonna say price low, high, boom. All right, bet. So let's say right now, if I want to buy a house, right? If I want to buy a house, let's say the house is on sale for $50,000, right? Market is bad because of Corona. We're gonna use the same exact thing. The value may go up because people are back living their best life. Nobody's wearing masks. Everybody's at all the concerts at Rolling Loud, all this stuff. The value goes up to $100,000 and it appreciates to $100,000. But whenever you want to buy a house, you want to buy it low. You want to buy a house as low as you possibly can, right? To get you a good deal. So what we're gonna wait is for the price of the house to come back down around possibly around 50,000. Right? Price came down to about 55,000, but I'm gonna be honest. I would rather buy this house at 55,000 than at 100,000. Okay, then the value went skyrocket. So in a demand zone, all a demand zone is the first buy candle, right? In the upward movement. I'm gonna change the color so y'all can see this. That is not a good blue. Hold up. And I'm actually zoom in. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth. There we go. Right. It is the actual first buy candle of the upward movement. So this is the first buy candle of the upward movement. This candle started the buy movement. Price actually came down. It kind of missed it. Boom. But price came down and gave us a wick entry right here. And you see, I want you to understand. Banks push price up, then they'll push it back down just to get a re-entry because their first order was right here. The banks got into the market right here. So they want to get back into the market where? Right here. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm going to say this one more time. Banks got into the market right here. And so when banks want to get into the market, they want to get into the market as close to that other part, right? Let me know if that does make sense. I'm just trying to make sure because I had a little bit more response on the supply zone than I had on the demand zone. I'm trying to make sure that we're on the same page here. I know I'm trying to give you a lot of value in a small amount of time. Okay. All right, Ty. I'm gonna break this down for you. I'm gonna do my best. Okay. My job is to make sure that you can understand this to the best of your ability, real quick. So, all right, right here. I'm gonna delete everything, and we're gonna look at it in a different way. So right here, we see this blue candle right here. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all to make it a little bit easier. I don't really like these colors, but some people do. This will make it easier. Cool. This white candle right here was the first buy candle of this upward movement. This candle right here was the first up candle of this upward movement. Okay. This candle was an up candle. That shows that this has a lot of buyer's pressure. So every time the banks will try to buy, they're going to try to come back to this original entry point. They're going to do their best to come back to this original entry point. Okay. They're going to do their best to come back to this original entry point because they understand I can get a good price to buy it. Right. Banks want to get a discounted price to buy it. It's the same as buying and selling things. Stop looking at prices, price and trade. Look at prices of retail goods that we understand. Right? Does that make sense a little bit more? Oh, what's your previous question, Ty? I did not. Ty, can you retype your question? I'm sorry, I did not see that. Right? And so on this example, the white candles are buy candles, the gray candles are sell candles. Okay. So this was the first buy movement. I'm gonna literally give you everything step by step on how to practice this, on what to do this, and everything. Okay. Right. So this is where the first buy started. Okay, what you said? I don't understand why we didn't use the candle closer in the same zone. So let me kind of explain this. Basically how supply and demand trading works. You wait till price comes back down. This is how I guess you can say the banks trade. You wait till price actually comes back down to this demand zone, right? Not this candle, but the first buy candle to actually initiate another buy. So if this was the first movement that started to buy, the next movement that started to buy is going to be around the same area. Okay. Type of 777 in the chat if I can proceed and give y'all step by steps on how to find this and how to use this with the harmonic scanner and really how to validate a zone and everything. Talk to me real quick, family. Okay, good. Y'all can give me some feedback real quick. If y'all want to come off the mic, let me know if what I'm saying is kind of making sense. Like, well, never mind, mute everybody. Y'all can't do that. But type in the chat. Like, is it making sense? Like, give me some feedback a little bit. Why didn't you use the lowest low? Because when banks get in at the first buy candle, not the lowest low. I want you to think about trading as the banks move the market. Banks move the market up and banks move the market down. So I want to see to get in when banks get in. So now this is why I show you what validates a supply and demand zone. So I'm going to type it so y'all can actually write, okay? And I'm going to show you on the chart. So I'm going to show you on the chart real quick. Let me actually pull up this GBP JPY trade that we actually got in. Not, I deleted it. Now I deleted all my stuff. There we go. All right, bet. Cool. So I'm going to give you some steps that will actually put you in a right. You can use it with HFX. I've done it. You can really use it with Forex. So I'm going to give you some examples of when to get in with the trade and everything, okay? Right? So let's go ahead. The zones can look similar, doesn't, right? The zones can look similar, but it's really very, very specific. So for a supply zone, I'm going to type everything. Y'all can screenshot it. Step 1 for a supply zone. Look for the first sell candle and the downward movement. Right, you want to look for the first sell candle and the downward movement. Step 1, look for the first sell candle and the downward movement. Cool. Step 2, right? Do you have a market maker's footprint? And I'm gonna show you what that is. This is very simple, I promise you. Like, don't let the new terms confuse you. It's not hard, it's just new. So what is a market maker's footprint? We can all look at this chart and we can see that the previous market structure is this. We can all look at the chart and see that the previous market structure is right here, okay? The previous market structure is where this X is, right? Type of 1 in the chat. If you see that this right here is the previous low. This right here is the previous market structure. Can we all agree to that? Right? So this right here was one of my previous market structure. So with my market maker's footprint, right? What happened is, I want y'all to understand is that what did price do? Banks push price down and destroy this previous market structure. This is what we call the market maker's footprint. This is what I call my market maker's footprint. This is banks showing me that banks are in the market. This is banks showing me that banks are in the market, okay? The market maker's footprint. The market maker's footprint is the one thing that will always validate a supply zone or a demand zone, right? If I don't have a market maker's footprint, if it does not, and matter of fact, I can show you on the trade I sent out last night, AUDJPY. I think it was AUDJPY. Boom, AUDJPY, for example, right? Price destroyed a previous market structure, right? I had my previous, I guess you can say I had a previous low right here for an example. Price destroyed this previous market structure, and this was my market maker's footprint. Price came back up to my sell zone and it went all the way down. That's how we got a 1 to 5 risk to reward on that trade I called out last night, right? But back to GBP JPY, so y'all can actually write this down. Exactly, right? Just like a C cup. Where it's on here, I think it's on here. The notes, there we go. Right? Do you have a market maker's footprint? That's really all of this. So step 1, find a supply zone. I'm going to show you how to draw the supply zone. Right? 2, do you have your market maker's footprint? And 3, right, looking for a rejection in the zone. Looking for a rejection in the zone. Somebody's trying to write on my screen. Let me take that off. Boom. All right, looking for a rejection in the zone. Right, looking for a rejection in the zone. Right, what I'm looking for is either a pin bar, right? You can find you a head and shoulders. This is where you actually utilize different market structures, things that you actually understand, right? A pin bar, a fib entry, right? Or you can have a break of a trend line, break and recess of a trend line, for an example. So I'm gonna give y'all a second to actually screenshot this real quick, right? It's for my supply zone, right? 1, you have look, oh, my fault. You have look for the first sell candle and the downward movement, right? 2, do I have a market maker's footprint? If I do, it validates the zone. And step 3, I'm looking for a price to come back and reject in the zone. Looking for a price to come back and actually reject in the zone, right? I want to show you, I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds to screenshot this real quick. And I actually want to go back over this GBP JPY trade I caught the other day that I'm actually still in. I actually really do love this trade. It's one of my favorite trades of the week. And the week just started. All right, bet. So let's look at this GBP JPY trade. Right? Price came down, right? Destroyed previous market structure, came back up to my supply zone. This zone right here is my supply zone. I'm going to show you how to draw a supply zone. Price rejected here. My stop loss is 7 pips above my supply zone. And price came down and took out the previous market structure and gave me 196 pips with a 35 pip risk, right? That's just a quick trade. And another trade I sent out the other day to AUD, what's it, AUDJPY? I think it was AUDJPY. Yeah, it was AUDJPY. Right, AUDJPY, this trade I sent out yesterday, price did the same exact thing, right? I got pin bar rejection right here, and I used one of my advanced entries, right? I used one of my advanced entries and did a sell limit off 50% of the wick of the pin bar. I had a 13 pip risk with this. I think my TP2 was right here. TP2 was 50 pips and CP3 price didn't come all the way down, but I secured 50 pips on, I think, a 1 to 4 risk to reward off of this trade, right? With lows to minimum drawdown. Hold up real quick. How do I turn this off? Give me a second real quick. Enable. I bet. Right. So that was just some supply zone trades, right? That is something that's really changed my life. And I actually want to show you how to draw a supply zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this GBP JP. Matter of fact, I want to go to actually one of my favorite trades I took 2 weeks ago, right? I challenged myself to turn a $17 account into $400. And it was a cool challenge. I really enjoyed it. Right. I took a trade on AUD USD. Let's see if it's still marked up. I found a supply zone actually on the daily time frame. Let's see if I still have my chart marked up. And was holding this trade. I've been in this trade since, if I remember correctly, around right here. Trying to see when I got into the trade actually. All right, here we go. There we go. So I actually found this, if I remember correctly, boom. I'm trying to zoom in so y'all can see, and I'm gonna show you how to draw the supply zone. So right here, all I found was price was on a higher time frame. This was my first sell candle, right? How do you draw a supply zone? People ask me all the time, Brandon, how do I draw a supply zone? Right? I drew a supply zone because one, all a supply zone is the same thing on how you draw a demand zone. So make sure you write this down. With the supply zone, you draw it from the bottom of where the candle closes to the opposite wick. You draw from where candle closes to the opposite wick. So I'm gonna zoom in so I can make sure everybody understands this. So my first sell candle, I draw my supply zone, right? And I'm gonna put a little marker right here. From the bottom of where the candle closes right here, right, to the opposite wick. This is my supply zone. This is my sell zone. So what happened was, what did price do? Right, I had price break previous market structure, which it did. Right, price broke previous market structure right here. Price destroyed its previous market structure. Price came back right here on the 4-hour time zone and gave me a pin bar in my zone. Hold up, that is not big enough. And gave me a pin bar in the zone. Okay, we see this candle was a pin bar. After I have that pin bar in my supply zone, you can do one or two things, right? It's going to take a little bit more time for me to go over the advanced entry with a sell limit, but the safest entry is me entering market execution once this pin bar closes, right? And my stop loss above the supply zone, right? 5 to 7 pips. I like 7 pips. 7 pips above the supply zone, right? And I want y'all just to understand, and I understood where price was going because price had a daily, a weekly, and a monthly bias to sell. Price had a daily, a weekly, and a monthly bias to sell. Let me go on the daily time frame so we can really see what this trade really did. So we can all see what this trade did. I've been holding this trade since a period, and we got into this trade. It hit one of my take profits, and let's say we close out at 200 something pips. I'm gonna be honest. I should have kept holding. I'm gonna be honest, right? But I said, okay, I'm just gonna catch a re-entry. But imagine if you were to hold this trade. This trade was on June 10th. where was I at June 10th? I think it was around, that was a month ago, about a month and a half ago, right? Risking 27 pips to catch over 400 pips because you understand where price is going, right? If you understand where price is going, you can go with it. And this is how legit I learned how to hold like swing trade with small stop losses. And it's really changed my life, like really changed my life on trading. Right. So I just want to show you, this is honestly my trade, like the last 2 months, they're really my favorite trade that I took when I had a 20 pip stop loss. And I know I closed out at like 250 pips. Right. And I was okay with that. Like that's not a bad holding a trade for a week. You know, that's not bad. And so I do want to show you, right, how powerful this is with understanding how to actually use this with the harmonic scanner. Right. I love the harmonic scanner. If you don't really utilize the harmonic scanner, most people really don't. Right. But I'm going to show you how to utilize the harmonic scanner. Nothing changes. I changed my background. Candles stay the same on here. So I'm going to give you some examples of trades. So let me tell you how powerful the harmonic scanner is. To me, the harmonic scanner is 100% effective. We just don't know when to get in. The harmonic scanner is 100% effective on telling us changing direction. We just don't know when the price is going to do what, change direction. This is why instead of going off of market theory, we go off of market facts. Market theory is what we think price is about to do. Market facts is what I know price is about to do because price tells me. Price is like a story. It's like dating somebody. It's telling me its wants and needs. I can't be mad if it's telling me its wants and needs and I don't give it what it wants and what it needs. Okay? So I don't like going off of market theory. I like going off of market facts. So for an example, this was a trade on AUD NZD. Matter of fact, let me find some trades on here. Yeah, there you go. The harmonic scanner, the entry points are supply and demand zones. First of all, shout out to you for actually catching that. Somebody actually caught that. Let's look at the trade that lost. Let's look at a trade that lost because we can look at trades that win, they look beautiful. Let's look at a trade on the harmonic scanner that lost, okay? So for an example, I'm gonna draw let's say this is a supply. We could say this is a supply zone. I want y'all to look at one thing with me. It said price should enter right here. I told you my entry is a pin bar. Do I have a pin bar in this zone anywhere? In this zone, do I have a pin bar entry? I don't have a pin bar in this zone. That's why price kept going up. Price never told me when to reverse. Price kept going up. Does that make sense? And what is a pin bar? A pin bar is when there's a candle with more wick than it is body. A pin bar is when there's a candle in the zone with more wick than it is body. I call it a rejection candle, right? So right here, price kept going up. I did not have no rejection. And because I didn't have no rejection, I didn't have an entry. I didn't have an entry, okay? That's why this trade on harmonic scanner lost. That's why if you took this trade blindly, you would have lost. But when you understand, let's say you saw price break this supply and demand zone, the price retested the zone for a buy. And you could have entered this for a buy. I want you to understand the harmonic scanner doesn't give you entry point, stop loss, and take profit. It gives you structure points. The harmonic scanner gives you structure points, okay? The harmonic scanner gives you structure points. Let's go to some more trades so we can just look at this together. Let's start at the top. So this is actually setting up for a trade. I want to see some trades already happened. Let's see if we can find some. Okay, let's look at this one. GBP AUD. Actually, I know this trade because I was actually about to call this trade out the other day. GBP AUD. So let's see what I see. Right, me personally, because I understand supply and demand zones. Right, I understand where price could. I hate this on the harmonic scanner. Here we go. Right, price came down to my supply zone. I'm tweaking. Price came down to my demand zone. I'm gonna make it blue. Price came down to my demand zone. Okay, this was my demand zone. Right, this zone right here is kind of crazy. This was my actual entry point. Was my demand zone. You see how you have rejection. Price may not actually come close to this, but you see how you have rejection around this area. I have a pin bar right here. Right, this pin bar would have been my entry stop loss. Right under this zone. I'm not going to use this on stop loss under this zone because I understand supply and demand zone. Take profit. One, got smacked. That's how powerful it is, right? When you understand where prices are going, you can actually get in. Right? Doesn't matter if the pin bar is bullish or bearish, depending on the supply and demand zones. Me personally, I'm gonna be very, very honest. No, right? From my study, you can do your own back testing on it, but from my study, as long as I have a pin bar in the zone, it's showing me that whatever is trying to go down can't go down anymore. Whatever's trying to go up can't go up, right? So the pin bar is just signifying to me that, okay, price is possibly reversing, right? And if it reverses in the supply demand zone, it has a reason to go down and a reason to go up. Matter of fact, how many of y'all actually use color? How many of y'all actually use colors before with Dr. Spiller? How many of y'all have actually like watched colors, looked at colors? I've done probably 4 calls with Dr. Spiller. Me and him have a very good relationship. So let's talk about it. What does Dr. Spiller say? No box, no trade, right? Y'all heard that, no box, no trade. You know what the box is? The box is a supply demand zone. The box is a supply demand zone. I just want to make sure that everything's kind of clicking now. The no box, no trade is supply demand zone. It's the same with a harmonic scanner. No box, no trade. If you don't have a supply demand zone around your entry, you do not enter. Right? If you don't have a supply demand zone with a rejection or with price coming in and come out, you do not have an entry, okay? You do not have an entry. No box, no trade. I'm gonna give you some more examples real quick. This one was a little bit different. This is actually a trade I actually did take, right? So why is this trade different? This trade price was not at a supply demand zone, but this is normal market structure. This was a break and retest, right? Price broke, pricely broke structure, right? Price broke structure, price came down, retest and price sold down. You have to have a reason to get into the trade. Don't just look, okay, I see price at an entry point. You have to have a reason to get into the trade. You have to have a reason. And here's the beautiful part about this. You had about 2 to 3 entries. Please write this down. Price will always give you another entry. If you miss your entry, price will always give you another entry. Let's say you miss this entry right here. Let me show you another entry, okay? Please let me show you another entry because I understand what price was doing. Here's a beautiful part about this. Price created a supply zone right here. I'm gonna delete this zone. Price created a supply zone right here. Price created a supply zone right here because this was the first sell candle of the downward movement. This candle right here was the first sell. I'm gonna put a line so y'all can see. I'm gonna put a flat with the white line. That candle was the first sell candle of the downward movement. So don't be mad because you missed the first trade. Because what did price do? Price will always give you an entry. Do you see this pin bar right here? Do you see this rejection of the supply zone? Once I see rejection in my supply zone, it's go. You see, after this rejection, price shot down. All right, let me know if that is making sense. All right, let me know if that's making sense. Good. Right. This is how I've been, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. This is how this really changed my life with trading because I understood, right? All trading is perspective. All trading is perspective, right? Some people may understand supply and demand zone, some people may not, right? Some people may like it, some people may not. Some people may love support and resistance, right? Some people have their own trading strategy. But here's the biggest key about perspective and everything, right? How do I create the zone? I create the zone myself. Let me show you why I create the zone right there. So let me delete this line. One thing that we all understood, and here's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna actually change these. I'm gonna change the candles back for everybody just for this example. Y'all know me, I don't like those colors, but we're gonna do it for this example, okay? Boom. Yo, I don't like that. So this is like the first real red candle that created the downward movement, right? That doji show indecision. This was the first red candle that created the downward movement. This candle was the first red candle. Let me circle it real quick. I'm gonna box it in for you. This red candle was the first red candle that created this downward movement, which means that this red candle held up weight. This red candle, like you said, is support resistance. It could be the ceiling, the floor, right? To me, it's my supply zone, right? Why did this validate it? Because what did price do? Price broke the previous market structure right here, and price came back up. I had a pin bar. Once I had this rejection right here, what rejection am I talking about? Once I had this wick rejection, I'm entering into market execution for a sell. Stop loss 7 pips above this wick. Take profits to take profits, and we just ride the trade down. That's how powerful just understanding when to get into the market. Hold on, I'm sorry. I really can't look at this. I've been doing this for so long, where I can't really look at like those red and blue candles. It really does hurt my eyes. Right. So there's a couple things I want everybody to actually take from this. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screens. A couple things I want everybody to actually take from this. The first thing is paper trading. Paper trading. Right. What is paper trading? You actually go out and print some charts. You can print a couple harmonic scanners. I've done it with HFX. I don't care. Print out a chart and actually physically write it down, because what does writing do? It engages your subconscious mind. Okay. Two, y'all remember those 3 words I said? See it, speak it, write it. See it, speak it, write it. Okay. That is very, very, very important. So one thing I want y'all to do is make sure you're seeing it every day. Make sure you're speaking it. We all have goals with trading. You all have goals, like you want to write it down too. And also print out your affirmations, print out your goals. And also, to the last thing I'm going to say, never stop learning. The 4 most deadliest words in anything in life is I already know that. I already know that. Right. I pray that y'all actually got some value from this. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording real quick to see if y'all have any questions.